The villagers maintained a strange posture, looking upward. On the cliff stood two 72-year-old elders. The elders spread warm jam on a stone tablet carved with runes. Then, under everyone's gaze, they jumped off. Seeing this scene, the villagers all showed satisfied smiles, but the outsiders were utterly terrified. A couple screamed in horror. They tried to tell the villagers that this was wrong. However, what frightened them even more was that the villagers not only didn't care but even saw everything before them as sacred. In this village, aging was considered a burden. Voluntary sacrifice was seen as the highest honor, but the villagers' beliefs terrified the outsiders. They fled the scene in panic. Even Ellie couldn't accept the village's customs. After returning to her room, she asked her boyfriend John to leave with her. But John refused. He had already become fascinated by the place. He even planned to make it the topic of his thesis. Seeing that her boyfriend couldn't understand her at all, Ellie decided to go back to their lodging and leave alone. At that moment, Pele walked in. He tried to persuade Ellie not to leave. He told Ellie that he was an orphan, that the villagers had adopted him, and had given him the warmth of a family. He also explained that the cliff ceremony was simply a village tradition, and hoped Ellie wouldn't feel burdened by it. His words touched the softest part of Ellie's heart. Under Pele's persuasion, she gradually let down her guard. A few days earlier, Ellie had received a strange phone call. Due to a gas leak, she had lost her family. The news devastated her. At that time, Pele invited his classmates to visit his hometown in Sweden. To ease her grief, Ellie decided to go along. But Ellie didn't know this journey would change her life forever. Pele's hometown was holding its midsummer festival. To recover from the pain of losing her family, Ellie began to blend into the daily life of the village. That day, the village welcomed the most important event of the Midsummer Festival, the selection of the May Queen. All unmarried girls were required to participate. They danced endlessly to the rhythm, until the girls fell one after another from exhaustion. The last girl standing would be crowned the new May Queen. When all the other girls had collapsed, Ellie became the final victor. In that instant, the entire village erupted in joy. The villagers lifted Ellie high on a palanquin, and placed a beautiful flower crown on her head. As the May Queen, Ellie was granted a sacred yet terrifying power. She could personally choose the final living sacrifice. However, while she was basking in her glory, she suddenly witnessed something heartbreaking. A young village girl named Lucy had fallen for John. According to the village's ancient courtship ritual, Lucy had mixed her own hair into John's food, and added her own jam into his drink. It was said to form a bond between body and soul. John knew nothing about this. Yet under the elders' arrangement, John was brought into a room filled with flowers. There, Lucy lay completely naked in the center. Around her stood a circle of naked elders. They hummed strange, haunting chants. In this eerie atmosphere, John gave in. Meanwhile, Ellie, newly crowned as May Queen, was parading through the village surrounded by villagers. As she passed the house, she heard strange noises. Peeking through the crack, Ellie saw everything. Her boyfriend had betrayed her. Ellie broke down and screamed. Then, another strange scene unfolded. The village women quickly gathered around. They surrounded Ellie, and began to mimic her painful cries.